Hi all, welcome back. So this is the second in this short series on changing the handle. So I'm going to put in some details here. So let's put in a fillet. When I select the second line, you've got the series of potential edges, all concave. The one at the end is the one I want. Right, I've got it at 25, so that's quite nice and smooth. Say okay. All right, so I will later on put in an edge between those two, those three. Actually, let's do that while we're at it. Yes, we will need it. So let's put in another fillet. In this case, I want to just go to the all round. So select. You have to, unfortunately, go across to the control bar or the properties bar. Let's go to fillet. Let's do the same thing. So I'm going to want from there to that one, to that one. Right, so now I want to place some holes in here, or cuts at least. There won't be holes just yet. So I want to put those on the top plane. So those will be extruded cuts, but they won't be all the way through. So I'm going to go to the top plane, and I want them to be concentric with this line. But because that line there is not a circle, it's not going to do it. I'll show you. So if I try and get a center mark, I can't. It doesn't work. All right, even if I go with that point there, I can't find a center point. So there's a workaround here. You just go to your center line, select that point, come straight out, and then do it again. So let's go from there, right? And then we just need to reintroduce or make sure that this line and that line are perpendicular to one another. There they are. And then I can just join those two by saying corner. So now I'm absolutely certain, because of the geometry, that there is as concentric as it can be with that line. So let's put a circle in here. I want this to be 14 or 15, somewhere around there. Okay, so now it's fully defined. I'm going to exit. And I want to cut from the top surface down. But I don't need the sketch to be on the top surface. In fact, at the moment, I can't even place a sketch on the surface because it's not planar. It is a it's compound curve. So it has curves going in both directions. Solidworks wouldn't know where to place that sketch. So with that selected, I'm going to go to the features and go extruded cut. But I don't want this cut to start from the bottom. I want it to start from that vertex. So I'm going to go to here to vertex. Okay, select that. So now you can see it's going from the vertex down. And if it's not cutting both ways, you can always just go both mid-plane. And I want it to cut about, let's say, about 9 millimeters. So we don't want to cut all the way down, 20. So I don't know if you can see, the blue is the line, but the yellow is how deep it's cutting. So if you choose the mid-plane, make sure you double up the dimension. And then I could put a draft in here. I'm going to put a draft in. You can see it's drafting in the correct direction, so it's going down and down. If I draft outwards, it's going to go like a cork. It's the wrong direction. Say okay, and it's trimmed. Okay, so that's trimmed down to just that point. You can see this is nice and flat on the bottom, so that I get I don't get that going all the way through. I get sort of a landing where I can put a hole in so that I can put my screw through. Right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to pattern that. So I'm going to go back to the top plane and put a sketch in here. And then I want to create a pattern of points. So at the moment, since I've got no center lines, and they're going to be useful, let's put some in. And then I want to put a point in here, and because that's potentially the bottom one should be, nope. Okay, so we're not going to get that either. We're going to have to perform this same trick. We're going to have to go from there and from there and make sure that that line and that line are perpendicular to one another, and then get them to snap. And then I'm going to place a point in there, and then I should be able to just mirror that. So let's just mirror that around that one there. Doesn't seem to have done it, but maybe, there, we'll do it. So, and then I want these two, we don't need, we just select the 2 points. I want those two to mirror around this horizontal line, so click on that, and then say okay, right, and then you should be good to go. So that I'm going to use shortly, but let's first of all just go back to getting this feature mirrored. So I'm going to say once again, top plane, right plane, and a mirror feature, and here I want to features to mirror, not bodies. So that would be this feature and that feature. I should actually do this a bit later when I have the curves in. No, this is actually a good time to do it. So that should be all right. Doesn't like that. Okay, if you get this face for fillet chamfer does not exist, just try this geometry pattern button. That should solve it. There we go, we've got it. And now I want that item to be patterned using this sketch. But I want to add one feature in first. So I want just a fillet in there of, let's say, 0.5, very small one, maybe a bit more, 0.7. Okay, so I'm going to go to linear pattern, and I'm going to say sketch driven pattern. So curve driven pattern relies on a curve. Sketch driven pattern, you can have points. So let's just keep it simple for now. So features and faces. So let's just select the features we want, cut, extrude, and the fillet. And then, so you should be able to actually select this sketch now. There's one. Okay, there we go. Brilliant. All right, so, and if I say yes. Right, so there's a problem here because that sketch there contains, it's a duplicate. So I'm going to have to go back to that sketch. Let's find that sketch. Where is it? That sketch there. And just make sure that that one there is deleted. So we've only got the 3. Okay, so let's try that again. So linear pattern, sketch driven pattern. You should be able to select the sketch. There we go. That is selected it. And then the features would be that and that. And if you say yes, those 4 are now placed in place. So which means I can just go back to this original one, and if I change one of these, let's make that a little bit larger, you'll see it updates all of them at once. I don't know if you saw that one grew, but it did. So minimal amount of work required. Okay, and then we can put in fillets on this edge. I just want on this edge, because I want those edges there nice and sharp. I was going to put in a cutout here, but I'm not going to do it. You can without a problem. Let's make that 2 or something like that. All right. So to shorten the video, I'm not going to show you how to put in a cutout. You know how to do that already. And now I can go to the shell button, and I can shell this, and I can give it a thickness of, let's say, 1.6 or something appropriate. That sounds right. And you'll see it's shelled, but it's left this piece alone, which is perfect, because then I can put holes in, and I can match those holes to this pattern. I can now also do a cutout. So if I go to the front plane and put a sketch in, see if we can get this done as quickly as possible. So let's go with that. Just get that to sit upright, and then go with that there. And then if I go to style spline and start around here. Make sure it goes to that point. And we want to make it as simple as possible, so that's cool. Make sure that that line is horizontal so that you've got tangency occurring here where those 2 points are. Put some dimensions in, which shouldn't be a problem because it shouldn't be too much extra work because you've got everything going across the center. All right, so 190. Let's give that a height. No, we can't. Now we can give that a width. Okay, so what's great about this is we only need 3 dimensions, I think. We do need a width, a height there. Let's make that 15. Doesn't seem to be quite. I know what needs to happen. That and this line, or one of these lines, needs to be made tangent. There we go. There it goes black. All right, so now you can control this line. I'm going to exit that, and I'm going to use that line just to cut. So go to extrude cut. Be sure that that little item there is pointing downwards, which is correct. We want to go through both, and then we say OK, and there we go. We've got this sliced in half. I'm not really happy with that, so this 15 is not great. Make it about. That's a bit better. Right, so far so good. I'll continue with the ribs in the next video. See you then.